Hi, welcome back to Missouri Cricket Barn Homestead. This is Debbie, and minus the weeds, it looks like we're going to have an amazing watermelon and cantaloupe year. We have cantaloupes and watermelons like crazy in here right now. Let me see if I can get over the fence. I mean, they are so thick. This is the only spare bit of ground that I see. And our corn, even though we, again, have a lot of weeds, it looks pretty amazing. We did the Three Sisters method this time around, except I never got around to planting beans, so this year we're going to be without beans. But we still have 22 quarts of beans in our freezer right now, so we really didn't need the beans. They would probably have went uneaten. We just don't eat that many beans, especially right now because I'm watching fiber intake. As you may have known from some previous videos, I've had some health issues going on. I think fiber is part of it. I think I'm one of those people that ends up getting too much fiber because I eat a lot of beans. So, and a lot of other fibrous foods like mangoes and fruits and things like that. And I've actually been told to limit my fruit, not because of sugar or anything like that, but because of fiber. So anyway, looking in here, loads and loads of cantaloupes and watermelons. We planted Crenshaws. We planted hybridized versions of cantaloupes. We planted Sugar Cube. We planted Hale's Best Jumbos. We have planted and planted and planted cantaloupes and watermelons. This is actually not the only bed of cantaloupes and watermelons. Actually, on the other side of the corn is also cantaloupes and watermelons, and they are doing amazing as well. We have blooms like crazy. I'm not sure what's pollinating because I haven't seen any honeybees, but there's definitely something that's pollinating, probably mason bees or something like that, because there is just watermelons and cantaloupes like crazy through here. They have set fruit. They're getting large now. It's really hard to see them, but we have a cantaloupe right down below me right now that is almost full-sized. It just, sorry about that. We had a chick that was screaming, and I think it was one of our ducks was picking on it. Anyway, hopefully you can see it down there. I'm not sure you can. There we go. If you can see that cantaloupe down there, it's still green, but it is huge already. And we have one hanging on the fence right now. Actually, I saw it yesterday, and it probably has bent down because it has climbed the fence and then most likely has laid over. I'm not seeing, there it is. Kind of hard to get in here with all of the, again, the weeds. Not sure that you can see it. Kind of hard to see, but there you go. Maybe you can see it there. See if I can get the weeds out from around it. There we are. There we are. There it is. So a big cantaloupe there. That's probably a Crenshaw because we put those on the end. They tend to love the heat, but don't like being out in the sun too much. At least in my experience, they have done better with the shade. So anyway, there is our cantaloupes and our watermelon through here. And again, yes, we do have a lot of weeds in here because I have been sick. I was sick for over a month, and I just never got caught back up. I've had Master Gardener meetings that have been going on. I'm the president of the Master Gardeners in Sullivan County in Missouri. And so we've had a lot of things going on. So I know that's ridiculous. Me being a master gardener, I should be able to keep a hold of the weeds, right? No, I'm just a person. So again, you can see all of those watermelon. They're climbing through the corn now. They're actually climbing up the corn. That's perfectly fine. Loads of them. We just finished planting a little bit more squash, trying to get some weeds out of here. Our peppers are doing pretty amazing. But we just basically planted and kept the staples this year: corn, potatoes, watermelon, cantaloupes, and pumpkins, lettuce, and kale, cabbages, things like that. We've got some pretty amazing kohlrabi that are pretty huge. I'll show you those in a moment. But that's it. We just kept to the staples this year. We have gotten a quarter beef cow, which actually equated to 336 pounds of meat, to be honest. It was a rather larger cow. We got that. We still had some cow left over from our previous half that we had gotten. Ended up having to get another freezer. And there's some of our Moon and Stars watermelon. You might be able to see the spots on the leaves. I found out that the Moon and Stars have spots on the leaves as well as spots on the actual watermelons. So we've got loads of those in there that are going on. Always chaos behind me when we are out here trying to film a video, because we have a new turkey that had just came off with 3 babies and made it home. She had been setting for over a month. We had no idea where, and she finally showed back up. So anyway, you can see our corn is tasseling now. Going to be setting ears very soon if it isn't already. And we'll probably do some hand pollinating, which just basically means we'll come out here and shake the corn. We have quite a bit of a breeze up here all the time anyway, because we're kind of on top of a little knoll. Not really a hill, but just a knoll, and we do get a lot of wind that comes through here. But we still love Missouri. Absolutely love the heat. It has been in the upper 80s, 90s for well over a month now. Has really just made all these watermelon and cantaloupes so happy. The soil is nice and warm. Everything is green and lush. You can see the trees, and just everything is beautiful. A lot of cockleburs we have to deal with, but otherwise, look at all of this lushness. It's growing over the fence, coming out into our yard. But we did expand the garden this year. But we found out this is the best area for the watermelons and cantaloupes. And it's been amazing so far, even though I haven't been able to tend as much as I wanted to. We also have been dealing with a lot of appointments and animals and things like that. We have new goats on the farm. We're going to pick up a new goat. We're going past into Oklahoma to go pick up a new goat, which will be a Toggenburger. Unfortunately, we lost our Toggenburger buck to something called barber poleworm. We had never had to deal with that before, and all of a sudden that became an issue, and unfortunately we lost our buck to it before we even knew what was going on. So that's sad, but it did tune us into this new situation. And then we're also taking a class in Springfield, Missouri, for learning how to find out these things that goes on with goats, because goats are notorious for having something happen to them and you have no idea what happened until it's too late. So we're going to take a class that'll be my husband and I, and that is something that happened very recently, or is happening. Will be happening tomorrow, actually. I have never mentioned it before, but my partner and I, we were not married. We've been together for more than 10 years now. Actually, 10 years will be tomorrow. So I count it as being more than 10 years because we were actually talking online for a while before we met each other. And anyway, it'll be 10 years tomorrow. And tomorrow we're getting married. Surprise! And then from then on, that'll be the rest. I'll be changing names and doing a whole bunch of things. We're also working on getting this this little farm official as a farm in the state of Missouri. And a whole bunch of things are going on in the background. So there's so much going on. There's just so much I can't even think about right now. And I'll try to update everybody as it happens. But again, just look at those blooms. Blooms everywhere on these cantaloupes and these watermelon. This is the largest. Last year was huge. This year looks like we're just going to blow it out of the park. I'll probably be going to farmers markets and everything else to sell cantaloupes and watermelons. Everything has just been setting like crazy. It's been a bumper crop year. We've had a lot of rain. So everything's just looking great. So let me go ahead and show you what the kohlrabi look like. And here's just a shot of our new geese. We have so many more new geese on the property. And they're loud. That's the way geese are. But we're pretty secluded. But we have Pomeranian geese, we have Emden geese, Toulouse, African, Chinese. We have quite a few geese out here, and we're hoping to get more. And so many more ducks. We have 35 ducks in total right now. Some of them probably have nests that have been stolen off by them. But we have Peking ducks, cayugas, barnyard mallards, and golden layers. And then right now we're getting ready to introduce 5 new little ducks that are Ancona, which all of these ducks are really good laying breed. That is one of our geese right there. That is Kit. They all have names. She's a really good girl. She's actually very sweet. She comes up to you, wants to be petted. And the Emden is Vivaldi, named after a composer. The third one behind is a goose named Continental. So it's Continental and Kit were our originally 2 geese. And then it goes on from there. So we have more geese and more ducks. All of that going on. And let me show you those kohlrabi that I promised. Again, very weedy out here, but everything is producing. So we have some kohlrabi down there right now. You can see it. Looks like a bulb at the base of that plant. Pretty large size. We had a lot of issues with caterpillars because I was not able to get out here and deal with them like I normally would. And we have potatoes. This is just how weedy my garden is. We have potatoes in there somewhere, and they'll still produce. It's going to be hard to find them, especially when they start dying back. But we will come in here and still get all of our potatoes out of there. This year we did not go with Kennebec. I did not feel well enough to get the Kennebecs out here. We have Irish cobbler, blue potatoes, and red Pontiac. So we have 3 different varieties right now. We'll have plenty of potatoes for the winter. I'll have to start over with my Kennebecs because I brought the box out here, to be honest, and never was able to get them in the ground because I fell sick at that time. But we have picked loads and loads of mulberries. We have mulberries that we've picked. And the blackberries this year, last year, if you remember in some videos, if you've been around with us for a while, last year I was picking blackberries in June. It was really hot, got hot really quickly, sometime in like late April, and was hot right on through. And this year it wasn't like that. It started out cool. It didn't start getting hot until the end of June. And I mean, it wasn't super cold. It just wasn't hot. So this year they have taken a long time to get ready. And that's one of our cats. We get a lot of stray cats here, and we end up adopting them and getting them spayed or neutered. And then they stay with us. So right now we have 3 cats. This one is a cute little calico. She's a blue calico, tortoiseshell calico. And her name is Artemis. And we have another one running around right now named Pocahontas. And we have another one called Pistis, which is Faith in Greek, that is in the house because he just got neutered. So anyway, we keep having cats coming in, and we keep getting them fixed, and we keep them. But sometimes we have to end up placing them. That's Pocahontas, because they are notorious for wanting to go after smaller chicks. Because if they fly, and when they're little chicks, they like to fly. So right now, pretty weedy out here, but absolutely gorgeous. You can see just so far into the distance. Beautiful blue sky right now. Sunny, but it has been rainy. Every couple of days we get rain, and I wasn't able to get into the garden because I'm just not pushing myself like I was last year. After what happened. It's been too hot to do so. So we've been kind of taking it easy, and next year we'll have to contemplate what we will need to do. I might actually think about employing somebody to help come in and help deal with gardens, but we'll see. Lots of changes on the horizon. There's the turkey hen that just had the babies she brought home. I actually locked the babies up in a little coop. And unfortunately, she keeps flying out. So we may end up having to take the babies from her because, again, she just, she brought them home. I suspect that there were probably more. And being dragged through the weeds and things, that probably killed off some of them. Because the babies are definitely several days old instead of being newly hatched. So it took her that long to get them home through our pastures. Turkeys are pretty notorious for not dealing well with rain, moisture, and we've had a lot of that this season. So there's a beautiful view for you. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for notices on new videos as they come out. And we will see you in the next one, hopefully a little bit sooner. Have a great time.